Hola. So this is my first reading with cards and stuff. So I had some channeling before I started. So New Year's Eve was the first kind of thing that came through. So a New Year's Eve reading. I got the number 721, which is pretty much like bringing your dreams into reality by following your unique purpose path, which I think is a pretty cool angel number to have. There's a little bit more to it, so check it out if you like, but yeah, do your thing, and happiness awaits. I got a bit of a divine masculine, divine feminine aspect. When I thought of that, I immediately thought, well, everything's divine masculine, divine feminine, because we're all divine masculine, divine feminine. It's not all about relationships. It's about within ourselves and, you know, the two sides of ourselves. So, you know, it could resonate with a relationship, or it could just be the duality of you becoming unified, divine masculine, divine feminine. I also got all that is, and I guess that kind of relates to that, that masculine, feminine, magnetic, electric, all that is, whatever you want to take from that. I also got Blue Lotus, but I was smoking that just a minute ago. I don't know if that, but I got that as a thing. Blue Lotus, the petals. When petals came through, I was looking at the yellow part of the Blue Lotus petal. So maybe, I don't know if it resonates with anyone, but yellow petals. I would say yellow would mean joy. That's what yellow resonates with me. I guess also the solar plexus, maybe, passion, creation. What do I get from petals? I'm kind of sensing more of a softness, like kind of, I guess, more like loving on yourself, really. When I think about the petals, even yellow petals, like I guess I saw freaking sunflowers everywhere today. Maybe that's why it's popping into my head now. Maybe it's resonating with sunflowers, sunflower petals. Sunflowers to me are more like dynamic, but this feeling that I'm getting here is a lot more soft, a lot more feminine than what I resonate with sunflowers. Generally, when I see sunflowers, I think it's more of a masculine energy. But this feeling, when I think of the yellow petals, it's a lot softer, full soft feminine. So I don't know. I also got the Nile flooding, which kind of resonates with abundance for me, and all our manifestations coming into reality. You know, like with the Nile, they prepared for a long time and they really planned heavily in advance for when the Nile flooded, and when it did, they utilized it. They utilized that flooding in the best possible way. They were fully prepared for that flood to come and to use that water wisely. So the flooding was absolutely not a negative thing. They planned on it well in advance. They used, I guess, all their learnings from past experiences, past traumas, and all the past knowledge, and I guess passed on wisdom to prepare themselves for all that massive influx of water each year, to use it and to put it towards, like, make it flow to the areas where it was needed, where they wanted it to go. So they were prepared. They listened to their past, their experiences, and sorry about that. They were prepared to receive those waters and use them wisely, and they made it last. They were really intelligent about how they got those waters to flow and to, store the water and everything. So I guess you know where I'm going with that. I guess it's abundance in whatever way you consider your abundance. You're planning for that abundance to come in. Abundance could be in any form that you're planning for it, and preparing for it. It could be financial. It could be, it could be anything. It could be relationships. It could be, career, whatever. But obviously I get the feeling that, we're preparing for our abundance to come in. We've been planning for it. We've been working towards it. And the freaking flood's about to come in, and we're about to see our hard work, our preparation come into action. So yeah, that's what I get from flooding. I also got 7 seas, 7 chakras, 7 colors, hashtag rainbow warriors. So I get 777, which is like jackpot. I also, with the 7 seas, it could be like travel, the 7 seas. It could be, I'm immediately thinking of freaking like the sevens, like the Hathors, the Pleiades. There's so many sevens. There's the archangels, there's the chakras. Like, as soon as I hear 7 seas, I'm thinking 7 seas, like the 7 chakras. And then that takes me to freaking the 7 colors, which is like, the rainbow. And then I'm just going on and on. But anyway, the 7 seas, whatever that means, it might mean something for someone. I had a quick Google about what the 7 seas were. And they don't really know what I quickly read. They don't really know where it started, but it sounded like the initial ones, the really old ones, were like the waters that surrounding like Iran and, that kind of area, Arabian Sea and stuff like that. Like, there was 7 seas and 5 rivers or something. So maybe 7-5 means something for someone. 7 and 5 for me, like 7 has always been my lucky number. And 5, I'm a life path 5. And that is all about freedom. So whenever I see 7 or 5, I'm thinking lucky and freedom. So if that means anything to anyone. Yeah, so 7 seas, 7 chakras, and 7 colors. The rainbow. I was just thinking then, like, there's the Black Sea and there's the Red Sea. I'm not sure if there's any other colored seas. But clearly the 7 colored chakras and 7 colors in the rainbow. So I'm like kind of thinking that that's all combined, and it's like, whatever way you want to look at it, it's kind of talking about it's kind of like emotions, right? Like seas is water, chakras is pretty much directing, is like energy centers, which is like emotional centers, and colors is just, it's pretty much another word for a frequency or a vibration, right? So it's pretty much saying your 7 emotional frequencies, 7 emotional frequencies, 7 emotions. It takes me to like this dream that I had that was like 7 pools of emotion. And hashtag rainbow warriors. So I would say it's probably like us trying to, I guess, be the warrior of our own emotion. Being not out of control when it comes to our own energy centers and our own emotions. So being able to control each energy center. And I guess that's kind of like, it just came into my head like worshipping the snake. But at the same time, I was thinking of mastering the snake. So whether it's like a combination of you're worshipping your snake and mastering your snake at the same time, maybe it is a combination. Like you kind of got to appreciate it, worship it in order to master it, the Kundalini. So I don't know, it's just what came through. All right, so the other really weird one, when I was having my Blue Lotus, and just in case anyone was interested, the ritual is I quite like it. I'm a bit of a vapor, so this is kind of like my trying to get off the vape type thing. But yeah, so you can use it as tea or you can smoke it. So I smoke it in my the gorgeous little ritual labradorite pipe. I'm not like promoting anything, but I'm just telling you what I'm talking about. It's fucking gorgeous little stone labradorite pipe there. And it does like chill me out, I reckon. And I like it as a tea as well. I do both. Whatever helps, right? Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, I guess before, I've got it on black and white, you won't be able to see the colours. But it's actually quite purple and yellow, and when I was thinking about the petals, even though like these are really quite bright purple petals on the Blue Lotus, there is the inside bit is really yellow. And when I was looking at when I was thinking of petals, it was this really pretty inside yellow bit, not the bright purple, that was really kind of like stuck in my head when I was thinking about that. Anyway, oh yeah, so I was smoking that, and I was burning the Palo Santo, and I could just smell rum, and I don't know whether it was the Palo Santo or the Blue Lotus or a combination, but it was just this overpowering rum smell that and I'm like, oh shit. So I wrote that down. Extremely like rum. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but immediately went to the whole sailor thing, like old sailor, almost like I've got this old sailor song in my head, which I can't quite actually like access, but it's like there's sailors in my head freaking having this like singing a song about rum, but I don't know what the words are. And a bottle of rum, you know that song or whatever. Anyway, I've got like rum and Sailor Jerry. I wish I knew the words. It's like in the back of my head, but it's not coming forward. Anyway, maybe pirates or sailors or fucking what's the Jack? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Pirates of the Caribbean maybe for someone. The black pearl. Pearls have been massive lately. Pearls have been massive for me like all year. And just the other day it was like golden pearl. And I actually then listened to that on one of my other, like the channels that I listen to as well. Like there's this golden pearl thing. It was like a synchronicity. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone either, but yellow or golden pearl activation. Yeah, not sure about that, but anyway, Sailor Jerry's rum. It's almost there, but I can't get it out. I want to sing this rum song, and I don't know what the words are. And Wild Turkey came into my head as well. But that's recently come into my head as well with the you know that honey one? The honey, I can't think of it now. The honey wild turkey. I don't know if that's I've just had like Hecate, possibly might be related to that, the honey, because whenever I think of honey, I think of Hecate. But Turkey, I know there's massive historical significance there, like with star seeds and stuff. For me, wild is significant for me. So you might want to like separate those two words. It doesn't have to be the spirit wild turkey. It could just mean that you've got a turkey link, or you've got some kind of link to wild. I've got a wild thing link, like Wild Thing, you know, the song, or yeah, there's a few songs, and the wild means something quite, you know, it's significant for me because it's like, you know, becoming untamed, undomesticated. You know how we're very domesticated beings these days. So I kind of think that we're kind of rewilding ourselves, and it's pretty important that we do that. Anyway, another number that came up was 56, and that comes up for me all the time, but that is my like personal guardian angel number, Poyel, because my birthday's actually in a couple of days, and I don't know, like if you really look into the whole guardian angel thing, there is so many of them, and there's a whole, you know, you've got your own particular one to your birth date and stuff. Anyway, like Poyel is mine, Poyel, and his number is 56. I think there is 72. So 72 is also another big number for me. So 27 and 72 are pretty regular numbers for me. But yeah, apparently there's 72 angels, guardian angels type thing for the year, I think. Breaking up for the days. So they look after particular birth dates. Random bit of information there. And I also got, it's been coming through yesterday as well, red and blue. And was it blue to red or red to blue? Red to blue, like the transition from red to blue. And I was seeing all these, this rubbish on the side of the road when I was driving today. And all the colours were really, popping out. And they were, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why that just popped into my head. But anyway, it was orange, blue, and green. Orange, blue, and green. So I guess that's sacral, throat, and heart. So feeling and speaking your passions, maybe, or embodying and feeling, speaking your passions, which I guess relates to the number 721, which I started with, about, following your unique path and, finding your happiness within that. And I guess you can't really follow your unique path unless you're feeling it, embodying it, feeling it, and voicing it. So maybe that's all kind of linked. But red and blue, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking 3D glasses, red and blue. You've got to have both in order to see that next level vision. And that completely relates to the whole masculine, feminine, red, blue. You got to have both in order to see the full picture. And it also brings up this memory when me and my partner, we're not together at the moment, but we were really high one night and on mushrooms, and he saw me with one red eye and one blue. And I still remember that he said that, which is so cool. And it's really funny because I didn't really know at the time what it meant, but I kind of found out after, and I'm like, I can't believe that he saw that at that time. This is before I even knew what the whole red blue thing meant. And he saw me with one red eye and one blue eye. And I guess that's just kind of the significance of being the balance between masculine and feminine, the red and the blue. But when I was thinking about it today, I was like, okay, so the red into the blue, but so I was relating it to I had this thought today, red to blue, or blue to red, water to wine, Jesus, because it's Christmas, it's Boxing Day today. And I was like, red to blue and water to wine. And I'm like, maybe that whole water to wine thing is a metaphor for masculine to feminine. Because I think masculine's blue, right? Feminine's red. Yeah. Feminine's red, masculine's blue. So water to wine would be masculine to feminine. And then I was like, all right, so in between red and blue is purple. So where does the whole, what's in between that? And I was thinking, like, what about, you know, Saint Germain's whole violet flame thing? I was trying to like think of a Jesus, if Jesus was talking about, if that whole water to wine miracle was a metaphor about masculine and feminine, was there another metaphor or another story with Jesus that related to like the purple, the violet? I couldn't think of one, but anyway, that was like kind of the thought that I was having today. So I guess Jesus's miracle was healing or combining masculine, feminine, or, you know, finding the feminine in the masculine is a miracle, or creates miracles when you combine the two. And I think that's what Saint Germain talks about with the violet flame, like, and I guess that's the red flame, the blue flame combined makes the violet flame, which is what Jesus was talking about with water to wine, which I guess water could also be emotion, natural, like something that's kind of just like, I don't know, earthy. And wine is much more feminine, is like, oh yeah, let's have a few wines. Which then gets you going. Is the passion, is the dance, it's the whoop whoop. And you combine those two, you've got the balance of being hydrated and having a party. So you've got the balance of both, which I've got them both here actually. I'm having both at the same time. I've got my Yeti full of water and been drinking wine. So yeah, I mean, I guess this is like the pleasure principle that I kind of go off as well, which is you gotta have a little bit of both to be balanced. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red, to be purple. Purple people eaters, purple hat. Yeah, the violet flame. The right temperature. You know, hot, cold. Get that nice, warm moment when you slip into the bath. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold. You know, a little bit of wine, a little bit of water, and you're ready to go. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red, a little bit of man, a little bit of woman. It's the perfect mix. Cheers to that, I say. And that goes with everything. I think, I like food, anything that we consider a treat, the red wine that we have in our lives, and everything that we consider is the water. And, you got to find that. You got to find that balance for yourself, because we all like slightly different temperatures. Some people like it a little bit hotter and work well with that, really feel the benefits of the heat. They like it spicy. I like it a little bit spicy. Other people get a lot more from the cold. You know, there's these polar plunges, or there's the sauna people, and then there's the people that do both, and then there's the people that don't like either the sauna or the polar plunge. They're very much in the middle, and they don't like to be uncomfortable at all on either end of the spectrum. It's a spectrum. And you got to find what works for you between the blue and the red. But yeah, like Saint Germain would say, violet all the way. It is a blend. It is not one or the other. It is violet, what we're aiming for. You know, you'll have a bit of blue here, you'll have a bit of red there, but basically you want to mix that shit, and you want to be generally a violet flavor. That's what's like come out. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. That's just my kind of downloady information that I'm kind of channeling. So we'll see what comes through now. Kind of getting dynamic, feminine, the dynamics of the feminine, and the Fool card, and the Tower. I'm kind of getting that maybe there are a lot of changes going on with the feminine, and this is not man woman. I think there is a lot going on, and a lot of awakening happening, and a lot of healing happening with the feminine. I think really, when you think about it, this is what we've been working towards for a very long time, is the healing of the feminine, and really coming out as a natural, authentic expression of the feminine, rather than either end of the spectrum of feminine within a man or a woman. So we've seen a lot of feminine come out within men recently, over the past, years and stuff, to the point where a lot of men have lost touch with the masculine, and a lot of women have lost touch with their feminine, or their, I should say, like the healthy feminine. I think a lot of people have been exploring their feminine, but it's gone to the, opposite ends of the spectrum of feminine. And now the opposite ends of the spectrum, whether you're man or woman, and it's individual which end of the spectrum you have gone with the feminine. You could have gone extremely like a toxic feminine, dark feminine. In general, I've kind of seen men go, I feel like men have kind of gone to the light feminine, and women have gone to the dark. And it's like we're coming back now to meet in the middle, where men will be able to embrace the healthy side of feminine, the empowerment of and creation of being feminine, the magnetic feminine, and women as well. Like, I wish I could draw this. It's almost like we've embodied opposite sides, and that's why it's created so much toxicity for so long. That, you know, like we're going back a couple of thousand years, that men were embodying their dark masculine while women were embodying their extreme light, weak feminine. And that created some horrible scenarios. So dark masculine and light feminine. That's what resulted in, well, our history, you know, everything that happened with that. And it's like, so, you know, like men are on the dark side of their masculine and women are on freaking their light side of the feminine. And then, and like fully embodying like that they didn't have, they weren't in touch, like the women weren't in touch with their masculine at all. They were just full light feminine, and the men were just full dark masculine. And it's taken thousands of years, and it's kind of like flipped, and now we're gonna like cross over, if that is making sense. Like women crossed over to their dark feminine, but also started embracing their light masculine type thing. Anyway, I won't go too much into that, but you know what I mean. It's like it's gone from way end of spectrum, and we've flipped it, and we're crossing. And it's this like sweet spot in the middle that we're getting to now, where both women and men have gone through the process in history of embodying both dark and light, masculine, feminine, and we're all coming to this sweet spot. We're actually finally getting together of healthy feminine, healthy masculine at the same time. Like, that's the exciting thing. That's the new earth. That's what everyone's fucking getting excited about, because when both of us, men and women, are equal and fully embodied within themselves, healthy masculine, feminine, and then combined with each other, working together, healthy masculine and feminine, like within and without, we're not going to put up with any toxicity anymore. We are all on the same side. Finally, there is not going to be any left and right. It is just what's right. What is right in the heart. Because we've been through the dark on both sides. All of us on both sides, we've been through the dark. Every single one of us has experienced dark masculine and dark feminine within ourselves. And we're like, And we're coming out of that. And we're coming into that sweet spot within ourselves. And we're seeing it in our kids. It's mind-blowingly amazing. I feel like this is my purpose. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what men and women do together. Whether you associate yourself with more masculine or feminine or whatever, it is the combination of healed masculine, feminine within the body, and then bring it. It's like, because we've come at it from two different sides, and when you come at this, you come at it from two different sides, and it's like you've mirrored each other. but you've met in the middle, and it's like fucking coming home. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, finally, it's like the magnet is just finally, you're finally home. And now you can freaking do what you've always wanted to do, which you've always been pulled apart from. And now you can do it. You're home. I know there's this massive power going on with that whole thing right now. Yeah, anyway, I think it's like, it's so much more than just men and women and, you know, masculine, feminine. It is the whole energy of everything right now, that we've been through it all and we've come back to our center. And, you know, even the earth has come back to her center after experiencing all the polarities. It's like we've been ripped apart, north, south pole, and then come back together or something. You know what I mean? To be balanced again. And, you know, it's just like, it's everything that we've been fighting and working towards for centuries and millennia. You know, there's been so much blame and guilt and finger pointing on who's done what. But it's just the energy. It's like the color. I mean, if you really look at it from a really far out perspective, like a higher viewpoint, just go out, like, let loose your attachments to the blame, shame, guilt, who did what to who. If you just take it out to looking at colors, and or the breath in, the breath out. It's just been this natural, energetic. And who knows, it might just continue like that. Breath in, breath out. Or maybe this whole new earth ascension portal that they talk about, it's the sweet spot. It's when we come into the middle, like it sands through the hourglass. It's when we're both in the right spot. So it's the maybe I don't know if it's the breath in, the breath out. Maybe it's the violet place. It's when you're in the violet. We'll go with the color. So it's when the blue and the red are both, you know, we're always coming at it from opposites because we are opposites. But when we're in the space of the violet rather than red or blue, when we're here, that is when we get to choose where we go. So if you go back as far as, they say that, you know, the whole Atlantis thing, that it was more of a woman dominated matriarch kind of, and the men got to the point of resenting women for their superiority, there being like men are today. It was more of a matriarchy than a patriarchy that we've got today. So it's complete opposite what we have today. and then it like flipped, and men completely fucked women over. So I don't know, obviously, history-wise, we don't exactly know whether women completely fucked men over, but maybe they felt fucked over, that they just weren't seen or felt useful at all, maybe, but maybe it's just the energy. Maybe it was just like the energy said the feminine was up here, consciousness-wise, and men just could not relate. And so women were like, well, I can't relate to you, so what use are you to me? And the whole patriarchy for the last 2,000, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 years, I don't know how many thousand years, that men have been just disregarding women as useless, and women, there was something in them that said, yeah, that, so it's not men versus women. It was like just that's the energy that was going on. It was just across the board that's what was happening. And we had to go through that and experience it all. So women experienced it up here during the Atlantean times or Lemurian times or whatever, and then it just slowly flipped. And now we've been experiencing the patriarchy and all that shit. And now this is coming back here again. So maybe, I don't know if this just keeps going like this. I mean, energy, breath in, breath out, and some part of me thinks that if it's just energy bouncing around, the infinity, the figure eight, I mean, it makes sense that it just keeps going. But it also makes sense that if you get to the point in the middle where the forces are equal, you can actually decide. You actually have a choice in that sweet spot. That's the eye of the storm. That's where you get to choose whether you stay in the sweet spot or you continue with the... In my mind, it makes sense energetically, thinking that we get to choose where you go. When you hit that spot, you get to choose where you go. And if both forces choose not to continue the same pattern, if you're both like, we can stay here, this is fucking awesome, then that's when something pretty special can happen. And you don't have to continue those ridiculous seesaw dynamics. Because if you don't choose together, if the forces start going like this, then it's going to go like this, and then you're going to go like this until the forces can only go as far as they can go before they start coming back down again, and you're just repeating the same old pattern. And this is energy dynamics within everything, within all relationships, with freaking abuse cycles, the whole... It is just the energy dynamics. The relationships. If you're not choosing to stay together, those magnets get further and further apart and then start freaking just fucking each other up, rather than working together. Yeah, so that's kind of masculine, feminine relationship dynamics. You can look at it from a micro scale to a macro scale, with everything, in my opinion, from freaking an argument with your partner to the entire freaking man woman over the millennia relationships thing. Like, yeah, but that's the same with anything. Like, you can really look at anything from any scale, and it's the same, as above so below type thing. Anyway, what should we do? Divine masculine. So Thoth has been coming through for me a lot lately. I've got a nice, a beautiful relationship with Thoth. He's such like a hard ass. He comes across as a hard ass, but really he's beautiful. I love him. He's like the father I never had. But he loves to give me shit and stir me up and confuse the fuck out of me. And he loves to do that. He is like, I had this like, one night, I had this little vision in my head that he was like the Riddler from Batman. And like, he was just confusing the fuck out of Batman. And Batman was just like, could not work out what the hell was going on. And that's how I see him. That's how I see Thoth. But, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like, in my mind, it's like, Ashtar is Batman. And Thoth is the Riddler. And they've just got this, like, relationship where Ashtar is more, like, just, like, cut and dry. Like, just say it how it is, man. And Thoth is more like the Riddler, where nothing he says actually it makes sense, but, well, it's just all riddles. But the riddles do actually mean something, but you've got to freaking... Yeah. Anyway, so that's Thoth and Ashtar in my mind. Batman. Batman and Riddler. So I've had a lot of little giggles when it comes to that, between those two. Because Ashtar seems to come across as a bit of a... No, he's fucking laughing in my head right now. He likes to come across... Alright, so I'm getting the opinion that, like, he's more of a businessman. He's a, you know, when you've got at work and you've got the boss and he's got to put on the boss face. That's Ashtar. But really, when you take him to the pub and have a couple of drinks, Batman gets lit. But he doesn't want anyone to, like, know that because he's the boss man. But yeah, that's him. It's funny. I'm just like building the relationship. It's very new. He's always been there, like since my first stuff, but because he's such a thing, I've been really avoidant of going there because he's so serious. I think maybe because he's so serious, he has not been as welcoming. Which is interesting because you'd think Thoth would be more like that. But I think that's the teacher in Ashtar. He's teaching me to not give myself away to anyone just because they've got a name. So I've had to, or he's had to work for, maybe he's had to work for it. We've both had to work for it, but we're still building. We're still building it. I still don't trust it. Even though I do, but he's teaching me to trust it, which is really different. It's very interesting. I don't know if anyone else has, started channeling the masters or whatever, but like with Thoth, I don't know. I feel like I've got more like a history with him, or maybe it is because not many people put up with this shit, and my brain, like, I've actually resonated with his riddles, and maybe not many people are like even picking up on all those riddles. I think that's what it is, because I'm so freaking like ADHD autistic type. His riddles have given me like something to sink my teeth into. And so he's been teaching me through crazy freaking bullshit, nothing makes sense riddles as probably a processing tool while my mind's blown about my whole world changing from this whole awakening bullshit type world doesn't make sense anymore. So I guess Thoth has been kind of keeping me busy with the riddles, but I've actually related quite well with them, and I think he's a little bit impressed. I think he's a little bit impressed with my determination to work them out, which I don't think other people have had the stubbornness to keep going there, because they're he's the Riddler. It does your head in. But something in my head, the way my head works, relates, and it's actually, I've actually really appreciated these mind tools that he uses, the word tools and all this. And I guess the emerald tablets was the first thing that activated me. So I mean, I don't know, maybe I do have a pretty significant, I mean, I have heard that the emerald tablets activate people. But yeah, I feel like there's a past life history there somewhere along the line. And I feel like he's giving me a lot of shit because of it. For whatever history link that we had. He's really rubbing it in. I really feel like he's rubbing it in and giving me shit. And yeah, and Ashtar is just like, I don't know, he's kind of standing there kind of just like, when you're ready. And I'm like, when you're ready, like, prove to me. And then he's just like, when you're ready. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to somehow tell me that you're real. So when you're ready. So that's kind of been more like a standoff, you know, more Batman boss-like. Like going into the principal's office or something type thing. But saying that they've all danced with me to the doors, and they cannot deny that. We have all danced together to the doors. No, to Queen. They really fucking love Queen. And the doors. They like that I like the doors. Let's just say that. No, we all love dancing together, actually, especially my Lyran cat people family. They are lovers of music, and we regularly dance together. I have provided Ashtar a slight lap dance. You know, not ridiculous. No, not a lap dance. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a lap dance. I've just let loose dancing, and you know, they've all been there. Yeah, we've all had a good dance together. So it's not all serious. Well, you know, like with me, I can't do serious all the time. I like a puzzle, and that's why I love Thoth. So because of my autistic, like ADHD nature, I'm either wanting to let loose or I'm wanting a challenge. And so that's why, like, the difference with the masters are like, it's pretty cool that whatever I'm needing at the time to get me through, whatever is best for me at the time, they provide. So yeah, I'll, you know, I mean, sometimes I'm needing to let loose, and it's like the Lyrans are there for me when I really need to feel loved and connected, and the dragons when I'm actually needing signs. I need to see things and I need to feel things. They're there ready to dance with me or to show me, you know, signs in the clouds, or for me to see things in the sky or whatever. When I'm needing something more serious to show me that I'm on the right path, or something, you know, something more like along my teaching school, like path, journey lines, I feel like Ashtar or Thoth or the Galactic Federation type Palladian, the councils, I feel like they come in at that point to give me a message, signs. When my brain just needs to be kept busy because I need to be on the go all the time, otherwise I lose my shit. That's Thoth fucking loves that. I think he loves to play. When it comes to that, he loves the wordplay, and so I think he gets a massive fucking kick out of keeping me busy when it comes to that. Yeah. So we have fun with that. And, you know, I'm only just starting to accept that that might actually be a thing. But, you know, whatever I believe, I believe. And so it is. But I guess that's like the intuition thing. I'm just accepting my intuition that much more. And we all know what intuition, when you know, it's a gnosis. So I guess I'm still overcoming the, what's the ADHD, when you just feel you're not good enough, or how dare I even say something like that? That thing. So it's really hard for me to even talk about this like right now, like this. I think maybe this is why they've got me to sit down and just start talking like this, to actually, it's like next level acceptance of what's actually, you know, going on. Seriously, it's taken me a full year of kind of feeling this, but even it's taken me a full year to verbalize or accept that maybe this is happening, that maybe I'm talking to Ashtar, that maybe Thoth is a guide, you know, this type of thing, that I'm in contact with the Lyrans and the Pleiadians and all that. You know, at this point, I just can't deny it, because I've literally got the most full-on messages come through, literally saying that, you know, Lyrans, Pleiadians, Emerald Order, like Thoth, Ashtar, you know, all this type of stuff. But I still don't fully believe it. It's so hard to believe it, because I've just still got this, you know, I know other people are saying that they've talked to them, like they're channeling them, and I believe that other people are channeling them. And I know that a lot of the stuff that has come out of me, that I've written, that I've said, is channeled, because it's not just me, it's more. I get that my higher self is in touch with the all. And this is what they said at the start, that it's more me than anyone else, because we're all, our higher selves are all the higher self. It is the whole one. And this is the thing that I've struggled with, right? Deciding what I believe I should express it as. It's taken me, and I think this will continue to develop, right? It's taken me 12 months since my first download to really, and my first kind of contact, to verbally express or put out there in writing, literally, what my views are on where it's coming from. And one of my first messages was do not freaking worry about the names. It's more you than anyone else. So it's you. Whatever you say is more you than anyone else. We are all you. We are all the same. And if you start putting a name to whatever you say, then you're limiting yourself. And you are disregarding the significance of what you are, what we all are. But there is an aspect of fun and companionship. And maybe that's, all right, I'm guessing, it's exactly what I'm needing right now, is friendship and companionship, which I just do not have. I've got no friends. I've got no one to talk to. And I get that I could talk to myself and sort of say it's my higher self, but we all need someone else. And
And I know my higher self's fucking awesome. Like, and I get that, but we as humans, we need community, and I just do not have any. I don't have any community right now. I don't have anyone that I can really connect to on that level. And I think that is why it is coming out now that I am communicating with Ashtar Command, Ashtar, or Thoth, or my beautiful cat sisters, Bastet, Sekhmet, or Set, Isis, all the beautiful ladies. And I have a massive, always have had, always, even before my freaking downloads, have had a massive connection to Sekhmet and Bastet, the cat ladies. Massive. There is a definite connection there before I knew anything about anything. I've always had a big Egypt connection within me, and they're still there. But interestingly, it is the guys that are coming through now for me, and it's just what I need right now. I haven't had enough healthy masculine direction and support in my life, and they're providing that for me now. So all I'm getting that's coming in is masculine energy, supportive guidance, fatherly advice, protection. It's all been masculine protection and advice and support, which is the exact thing that I have lacked. And that is what the feminine needs in order to heal and then blossom. So, you know, I don't know what will happen next. Obviously, I mean, since, you know, they've been providing this community for me, this protection, I feel like freaking Archangel Michael, I feel like Gabriel, I feel like Ashtar, I feel the dragons, you know, this red dragon, I feel Thoth, I feel like they're all around me, and no motherfucker is getting anywhere near me. And it is so empowering, and I have just blossomed. Like, I've become someone that I would not have recognized 2 years ago. And it's all just been this, like, I've just got this masculine circle around me. Freaking, you know, like, I can envision the freaking galactic freaking council, but it's just like a circle of men around me, protecting me. But I also know that there is a whole bunch of women there in the background sending me their love, but that's not what I need right now. And I know that, and they know that I know that, but, you know, they're in the wings sending me their love, and I get that. It's like they're inside me. So, but it's like, I mean, they all know what you need. And I'm just getting all this motherfucking divine King Arthur freaking sword, witcher energy, archangel, you know, protection, like every bloody divine masculine being, light being is surrounding me. Because that's what I need as the feminine in order to heal. Because I've had no healthy masculine in my life, and unfortunately, like, it's like so many of us haven't, like, experienced had that safety, or, you know, and support to become, even to feel the feminine within us, you know, to let that out at all. So and so it's extreme. I've had extreme masculine support recently, you know, which is, you know, like, I've never really, I had a father my whole life, but he didn't know how to be a father because he didn't have a father. You know what I mean? Like, it's this whole dynamic of from generation to generation that it all got lost. And then
you know, we all got to this point where men didn't know how to be fathers, and women lost the security in order to be feminine, like mothers. So we've all got to the point of having no real mothers or fathers, whether you had them or not. So we have all lost the ability to know or be guided by true divine masculine, feminine beings in most cases. So, you know, and then you get to this age and you realize this, and then, well, I mean, how do you teach yourself what is divine feminine masculine? What do you think? What is it to you? I mean, because we're all different and our reality is different. We all have different gifts and energetic. We're all different aspects of the divine masculine and feminine. So it'll be different, slightly different for everyone, what they consider it to be. So we all have to discover it for ourselves. But I mean, I think we're meant to be mentored from a young age in order to fully, more easily embrace it. And, you know, before we fall off the perch. Because, I mean, I'm nearly 44 in a couple of days, and it's only now that I've realized that I need to teach myself, or I feel empowered enough to teach myself what a father and mother is, should be, what I believe they should be, in order to embody it within myself so I can be the full me, because we all have the mother father within us, and when we're fully embodying that as a mature being, that is when we've become whole and can embody it for everyone. That's when we fully embraced our full being and can gift the world with our combined essences. I don't know. Like, to me that kind of makes sense. But I just feel that we shouldn't have to wait 40 years before we realize this, and then have to teach ourselves. Like, I want to see young people being taught it. I want to see children being taught it, like, you know, from a young age. And I'm sure there are people, beautiful, in touch, blessed people that have this. And boy, what they must view the world as. Because, I mean, I don't think many of us are blessed enough to have been provided the divine masculine, feminine mentor from a young age as a mother or father figure. I think that's very rare still. Extremely. So, I mean, if you were blessed with that aspect in order to really bring it in or embody that from a young age, then you must be a really frustrated human being because the majority of people just can't fucking relate to that. And that's where you get all the, you know, abandonment issues and anxious attachments and all those toxic relationship patterns. So I guess once you've healed that masculine, feminine, or kind of gotten in touch with it, you become more of a secure. So you can actually start having proper relationships
And that's when the real work starts. And I guess this is what I'm getting at. Is this what I feel like now, is that this is when the real work starts. This is when I'm me enough to actually start freaking life. It's like up until now, it's just been freaking training. But now, all right, I'm ready for the real game. So bring it on. But now I've realized that, all right, so I've done all that really hard work and I've gotten there. And these guys are freaking working really hard to help us. Because this mission is a really big one. But there's still so many people that are really doing it tough in this training of the masculine feminine dynamics, and that's why it is so important right now. It's a real big highlight. Because you could imagine once these men and women of a certain age, I guess, like, can you imagine if every, let's say, 30 to 40-year-old, 30 plus, I mean, I'm 44, like I said, but can you imagine if it started at a young age and we've got the majority of adults healed and fully embracing themselves, following their path, working together, equal, no ego. Can you imagine what the world would be like? Fully healed, no ego, no power plays. Divine feminine and masculine together, working, utilizing each other's ability to make each other better, embracing each other rather than challenging or rejecting each other. I mean, we challenge each other naturally, but to grow rather than to tear down. Rather, not competition, it is teamwork rather than competition. That's what I'm getting at. So remove all the competition and it just becomes teamwork. Can you imagine what the world would be like? What your relationship would be like? All your relationships. Can you imagine what being a mother and father in that dynamic to your kids? No power plays. No anxious attachment. No running away. Avoidance. No avoidance. No anxious attachment. No avoidant attachment. Whatever that is. It is just secure teamwork for what's best for everyone. For the team. For the family team, they're small. You know, well, I mean, team, and then it goes out, you know, like the partnership, man-woman, man-wife. That's key for the greater team of the family. And then extended family. And then, you know, out and out and out and out. Their work dynamics and if it's that healthy in every relationship, whether it's a friend group or work group, when everyone is bringing the best part of themselves to each of those, like, relationships, they're gifting the other person, the other people, enlightenment each time. knowledge, enlightenment, growth, inspiration. So from every interaction that we're having at that point, we're becoming better. And then we're bringing better to everyone else who's bringing better to us. And then it's just a fucking massive freaking, like, snowball's not the right word because that's like downhill. This is like supernova in the best way possible of fireworks, growth, amazingness. And that's why there's like the new earth type thing is happening so quickly, and is just going to happen quicker and quicker and quicker. Because we're just handing all this enlightenment and high energy to everyone, and then it's just bouncing off and getting bigger and bigger from everyone that you see. It's still a little bit like a struggle for the light workers, but I think we can all see just how quickly it's gonna just like. And to be honest, I reckon these kids that we've already got, I think they're just fucking waiting, to be honest, because I think they're already there. And we're trying to play catch up, to be honest. I think by the time like we've done the freaking hard yards and they're like, 20, they'll be like, fuck you guys are ridiculous. And we're like, we've tried, so we've just gone through the freaking ringer, and these guys have just come in and are ready to go. But that's the way it goes. Oh shit.